Thank you, Steve. As I reflected on this wonderful building and all the nuances that it has that we could not have conceived of 40 years ago, I thought back about the times when I was on the Board of Education and leading it as the president, and realized that we went to every building in the district to have meetings. And that gave us a bird's eye view of what was going on within those buildings, and we could see firsthand the deficiencies, some of the things that we needed to do. And that was in 1983, Steve, so it was a lot more than a couple decades ago. But I want to reflect also, because I think I'm the oldest person here, and that's really why he invited me. And I probably am the only one of that age who is here that started in Lancaster City Schools at West School in 1945 and graduated from Lancaster High School in 1957, just before Thomas Ewing School opened, same year. So I'm one of the few people that never got to go to a new building. Don't cry for me. This is wonderful. But I will say this. I think back about my time at Lancaster High School, and we had a principal my freshman year by the name of Jack Brown. And Jack just barely got started as principal that year, and he had a severe heart attack and was out the rest of the year. Well, since he didn't have that last year at the high school, they gave him the opportunity the next year to become the new superintendent of schools. And Jack was the brains behind and the moving force behind the building of new schools in the 1950s and 1960s for Lancaster City Schools. And that leadership was infectious, because I believe that thing that he did to look at the school buildings, realize how deficient they were, and to exert the pressure upon the community and lead the community to build these schools was really, really important. Now, let me tell you about vision, though. However, the new high school opened in '64. My half-sister was a student there in 1970 and graduated in 1970. And she was on one of 2,300 students in a building where they had to go half-day sessions. So they didn't envision what needed to be envisioned about the size of that school and the complexity of what they were facing. I believe that the leadership of this district, the boards of education for the last 30, 40 years, and the superintendents of schools and their staffs, and the teachers especially, have been instrumental in coming to the day where we are today. With all new buildings in about 3-4 years, we'll have all new buildings in Lancaster, Ohio, and there are very, very few districts in Ohio that can say that. And so I want to thank you, the voters for the city of Lancaster, and this Lancaster City School District, the leadership team, and all the people who worked on this facility, because you've done a beautiful job, and I look forward to seeing you at the General Sherman dedication in about 6 months. Thank you.